So thank you so much for Ignacio for agreeing to speak with me today. Just tell me a little about your work history and what you've done professionally.
Yeah. So first of all, thank you so much for inviting me. It's a pleasure to share my experiences with everyone. So I'm originally from Spain. I was born and raised in Madrid. My dad's Cuban American. He exiled from Cuba to the U.S. after the revolution, and my mom is Spanish. I was born and raised in Spain, and I went to a British school in Madrid. I graduated with a degree in marketing. And when I finished my university, I decided to try my luck, my American dream, moving to Miami. So I currently do real estate in a company called Sotheby's International Realty. And that's what I'm currently doing.
Fantastic. That's great. And so how long have you been working?
So I've been working for Sotheby's for approximately 4 years. But I've been working on and off since I'm 15 years old. Most of the summers I used to work in a movers company back in Spain in order to pay my summer holidays, and I also moved to London for a summer to work in a retail shop. I've also worked as the pool boy at the Four Seasons Hotel in Miami when I first moved. So I've done a bit of every kind of job, and I must say that that's what made me the person I am today. Getting to know every type of industries, starting from the bottom, being managed by different people, and especially co-working with all kinds of people, not just wealthy people, but I also enjoy, and I think it's been a privilege to learn from lower income people, from more humble backgrounds, because that really gives you a feeling, and I think it's super important in this life to respect everyone, to treat everyone accordingly, and that's one of the pluses I believe I have.
Well, thank you for bringing that up, because I do want to ask you, how is it that you, well, first of all, how old are you before I ask that question?
I may look younger than I am. I'm actually 29 years old.
Okay.
So that's my age, but everybody says I look younger, and I just...
Okay, no, but you're a perfect millennial, so I'm going to ask the millennial question, which is, how is it that you prefer to be managed by a supervisor or manager?
Yeah, so I think that depends a bit on every person, how they like to be managed. In my personal experience, I'm a person that, I like working with a team. I like being pressured. I like somebody to be on top of me, requesting me my work, and that's the kind of person I am. I work better under pressure, unfortunately. That's the reality. And I must confess that this COVID situation that we're working all from home, it hasn't been as easy as it has for other people, for myself, because, I enjoy working in environments with other people around me, brainstorming. And I've found it personally not that easy to work from my house. But it is true that I've been very fortunate. I work in a very big company. We sold 3 billion in real estate this year, this 2020, and I've been very lucky because I've been, my company it's still like a family company. They started as a boutique office in Coral Gables, and now they've expanded to over 20 offices, and they still keep that family orientation. So, I can speak directly to ownership, just get my phone and speak to Maggie de la Vega or Daniel, the president, the owner. And, the most important thing is they actually listen to what you have to say, which I think is very important for millennials to feel that they're being heard. I'm very lucky to work in the new development division. We represent 20 projects, amazing projects. And my boss, the one that, to whom I directly work under, that is called Fernando Núñez, he's not just my boss, he's become like a father to me, like one of my best friends. And I'm very fortunate that, he really helps us out. I must confess, it's not because he's my boss, but he's a great leader. And, he likes to speak with you to know how you're feeling, because if you really want to work well, I think the companies, they have to take care of their employees, know how they're feeling, if they need vacations, if they don't, and really take into account your what you have to say. And I've been very lucky to be able to have that experience and especially learn a lot.
That's fabulous. So I'm just going to ask you one more question, and that is, how often do you like to get feedback on how you're doing?
So my company has an official, year review. So after the year, you sit down with your boss and with ownership, and they review your year, how you've done, how you've improved, if you haven't, if you've been a bit more lazy. But that happens officially once a year. But as I said, I work under the development division. We're only 5 team members, and we literally have that revision every week because we have a lot of deadlines. So if you don't do your work, you bring the whole group behind on work. So you really have to get to the deadlines. And you obviously we have 2 calls every week. We have one Monday call at 11 a.m. and one Friday call at 11 a.m. So I have reviews on both Mondays and Fridays, which is good because if it happens to everyone. I think when you're a bit not lazy, but when I don't know, with this COVID situation, it really hasn't been easy when you've been locked up at your house. I lost my grandmother, I lost my ex-girlfriend, all of this to COVID. So
I'm so sorry.
It's fine, thank you. So sometimes you get a bit held back. So it's good that your boss, with heart, obviously, and knowing the situation you're going through, he pushes you. And my boss, he wants the best of all of us. He really wants us to learn, to grow as human beings, as leaders. So they always try to push us to our limits, which I think is really, really good.
Wow. That was a lot. Thank you. I'm impressed with what you've accomplished at 29, and I thank you for your very honest evaluation and feedback. I think it's true. A lot of people, do better with more attention than less. And but it's also good that your company is very careful with understanding what all their employees are going through right now. It's not been easy, and obviously for some it's much more difficult than others in terms of losses.
That's why I said everybody has their own reality. I've worked for big corporations. I know how it is to be an employee in a big company. It's not easy sometimes. I've been in the situation of clocking in, clocking out. So I know what that situation is. I'm very fortunate. I have to say it. That's a reality. But some things can change once you're here, once you're down here. So, but it's good in this life. It's good to be grateful, and I'm very grateful for my parents, for my family, for my coworkers. So that's just my personal reality. I've been through everything. This hasn't arrived, just waking up one morning. As I said, I've worked as a pool boy at the Four Seasons hotels, just putting towels on people, taking towels off. I've worked in retail stores. So, I just think it's hard work, motivation, and learning and respecting people. And that's what I think.
Wow. All right. Well, I'm going to end on that note, that profound thought.
Could I say just one more thing?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so the last thing I want to say to any millennial that's listening to me is, I'm not a person that gives advice, and, my life is not perfect. It's far from perfect. I'm not perfect myself. I think nobody is, but I think I can give an advice, through my lens, seeing my past and, who I am now. And I can say that I think we all need to do 4 things. Three things. The first of all is try to learn a language. In your free time, it's super important to try and learn a language. You're not competing against your friends, your schoolmates, your university mates. You're competing against the world. So I think it's really important that you try and learn another language. Okay, I speak Spanish, French, English, and I'm trying to learn Portuguese. And also my other advice is try to do exercise every day. I know it's super hard, but that's really what's helped me in my personal life. Healthy body, healthy mind. It really, really, really makes a difference. And then something I started doing 2 years ago, 3 years ago. I've always been very interested in history, in international relations, politics. But to practice my French every night, I started watching documentaries on French. Every night I watch a documentary on French. That way I practice my French and I learn I learn about a country, culture, history. So my advice is really just get off Netflix. I know it's fun. I don't have a Netflix account. I never had. I watch documentaries on YouTube. Just try to watch a documentary. I think there's 140 countries in the world. Try to watch a documentary on each country, because the other day, for example, I was at a party, and a girl from Ghana in Africa came. Nobody in the party knew anything about Ghana. And I know this is a coincidence, but the night before I had watched 2 documentaries on Ghana. They had found oil in Ghana. So I started talking to the girl, of the capital, Accra, of all this oil they found. And she was truly impressed. And what I want to say with this is, I'm young, but I'm able to have conversations with grown-ups because, I'm able to speak with them. And also I know at least something of every country, every culture, every religion in the world. So I always have a conversation to start or to say or to speak with somebody from another culture. And that's really, really, really helped me out in my life. That's my advice. So take
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Well, thank you. I appreciate your sharing, what you've learned, what you're doing, and for taking the time here with me to talk about what it's like to work in this country.
Hey,
and
God bless America.
Well, thank you.
People don't value the country it is.